Before I start, I'm seeing your number is not this number I expect. Let me check through register. Then Gage.
Present.
Naftali.
Present, sir.
Nika.
Present.
Reda Nafula. Eugene. Shadi.
Absent.
So Eugene is not there. Duncan Kimbui. Absent. So Mary Wendo.
Present.
And Collins. Collins is also absent. So this one I will have to penalize them because you cannot miss my class without permission. So in our last class, we discussed characteristics of something. We discussed about characteristics of sample. We discussed about characteristics of sample. That's in our last class. We discussed about characteristics of sample. So what can you remember about the characteristics of sample we discussed in our last class? Characteristic of sample. We discussed about characteristic of sample. Yes. Yes, Luca. Characteristics of sample.
Samples represents population.
Sample represent population. So we discussed that sample represent population. Yes, that's correct. Another thing we discussed about sample. Yes. Sample. Sample size. Sample size. Size or sample. Another one discuss about sample.
Accuracy of sample.
Accuracy. So sample should be accurate. Sample should be accurate. So those are the things we discussed in our last class. And I can see some of you can still remember what we discussed. So today, we are going to discuss. So at the end of this lesson, I expect you to have the knowledge of these ones. So our learning outcome for today. So the first one, identify different types of analytical samples. The next learning outcome is explain the importance of maintaining sample integrity. The third one is apply best practices in sample storage. So, what do you understand? What are some of the sample you know, analytical sample you know? Yes, you. Yeah, just come and write for us so that us can see.
I know biological samples, like the ones we give in the hospital, urine and
Is she correct?
Yes.
Someone will support. Is she correct?
I think it's correct. But I also have
Another time. So this is correct. We have biological sample, and a good example of biological sample is urine and blood. Yes, give us another example. So we have solid sample. Solid sample. So, examples of solid sample. Let's think examples of solid sample. Which sample? The solid sample. Like in this case, this sample, these are biological sample, but this one is a liquid sample. Yes, I'm done.
dry.
Yes, done. Please.
Under solid sample,
Yes.
we can have soil sample for soil testing.
So it's yes. So this is a good example of solid sample. Is there any type? Liquid samples. Yes. This aqueous solution as under liquid sample. So we have so many liquid samples. So I have some chart here in telling some of the sample. So let's look here if we can. So here I have sample types. So in this chart you can see we have solid sample. Then in this solid sample, a good example of solid sample are soil. We have tablet. A good example of tablet is paracetamol. And also metal is a solid sample. Another sample is liquid sample, which we have stated. We have water, we have blood, we have oil. Then we also have gas sample, that is air, exhaust gases. Then we also have biological sample, which we have sample. One of you has given an example to be urine and blood. Then the last one is environmental sample. And in environmental sample, we have soil, we have river, water. So, I have a sample here. So I want you to pass this one around. I want you to describe, to identify this sample, and in which category should we group this sample. Then another sample here. I have another sample here, so keep it well. So let's also discuss. There's a sample inside there. And you should know the ways of testing. So we test the texture. Yes, someone. So which sample is that? Solid sample. So it is, that's another solid sample. Then the next sample
These are liquid sample.
a liquid sample. So what is the identity of that sample?
It smells like urine.
It smells like urine. So that one I obtained it from a toilet. So it is a urine. So another one is explain the importance of maintaining sample integrity. Why do you think we should maintain sample integrity? So before you answer that, let's form a group of two. We discuss the importance of maintaining. I'm giving you 1 minute. Importance. Yes, let me get response from group 1. Why do you think we should? For accuracy. So for accuracy, yes, group 2.
It helps maintain or reduce wastage of time and resources.
So reduce wastage of resources. So these points are correct. So we should. So another sample. So for accuracy, we can also add precision. So is there any question before I continue? Someone wants question? Okay. So in our third, so how the practices, what are some of the practices you think we should do when storing what? The samples.
Proper labeling.
Proper label. So we should label to avoid confusion. So another one.
Avoid contamination.
Avoid contamination. So we should also to avoid contamination. So there is a short video here which you will watch later, but I will just give you a brief of it on how to store it.
Such as proper labeling, primary and secondary containers, compatible and segregated storage, and the transportation and handling of hazardous materials. Hazardous material containers must always be clearly labeled and include at a minimum the name of the contents in English and the health and physical hazards associated with the material. If chemicals are placed into an unlabeled container, that container must have a secondary label affixed to it. Just like other labels, the new label must also have the name of the contents in English and the health and physical hazards associated.
So you can see the reason why we should label. That's a label.
Using a
The label should be clear.
non-label is another reason to convey the hazard information. If it is not practical to label a very small container, the proper labeling information must be written on a sign or a research log.
So at your free time,
Which must be clearly visible to
you will use this link to watch that video later. So there's this link you will use to watch the video at your free time. So that's the link you will use to watch that video later. So I've come to the end of our today's lesson. Unless you have a burning question? Is there any burning question? Yes. Is there a question? No question. So let's write this assignment. Why is it important? Why is it important to maintain the integrity of an analytical sample during storage? So I will require you to submit that assignment in our next class. So that assignment, so there was something I was forgetting. So before that, let's go through what we have discussed today. Can you remember about our lesson today? Yes?
We have different types of samples, solid samples, biological samples, environmental samples.
Yes. Another one that we have discussed.
Yes, we talked about the importance of maintaining sample integrity.
Importance of maintaining integrity. So I think we'll stop from there. Then make sure you tell your colleagues when you meet them that they submit the same assignment. Thank you. Let's meet.